This is Ben for Surf Dome, and we're looking at what size surfboard is right for you. How long is a piece of string? How many angels can you fit on a pinhead? How old is Kelly Slater? Big questions, but not as big as what length of surfboard is right for you. So let's break it down as simply as possible. The two biggest factors that determine the right size are your size and your surfing ability. The bigger the person, the bigger the board. Simple physics, really. Similarly, first timers and beginners to the sport should get thicker and longer surfboards. Bigger surfboards provide extra flotation and stability. This makes it both easier to paddle for waves and to help stand up on the waves that you do catch. Now, when it comes to measurements, surfboards never got the metric memo. It's all in feet and inches. The length, nose to tail, the width, the widest point of the board, and the thickness, basically the rail shape here, are the three most important dimensions on a surfboard. Now, confusingly, in the last decade, another measurement, volume, has come into play. Now, this is the amount of three-dimensional space enclosed by a surfboard expressed in litres. So if you submerge this board into water, it will displace its own volume in water. In this case, it's 71 litres. It's a big old beast, this one. But for beginners, let's not worry too much about litres and volume. It's a concept that will come into play as you progress through the sport. As a beginner, you'll be looking to get a board that's roughly 2 feet taller than you. So if we look at this one for an example, this big old beast, you know, I'm almost 6 foot and this is almost 2 foot bigger than me. So that's about spot on. Now, there's fewer hard and fast rules for the weight, but the heavier a surfer is, the thicker the board will be. Now, for an 8-foot board, the thickness will be around 2.5 to 3 inches thick. I think this is just about 3 1/8 thick, so that's about right. In terms of width, there's going to be around 22 inches wide, but yet again, once you get the length right, with these beginner boards, both the width and the thickness will be pretty much spot on for you, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. This is a pretty good example of a beginner or learner's board. It's 7 foot 6 inches long, it's just over 22 inches wide, and it's about 3 inches thick. And they're sort of the general dimensions you'll be looking for to get a learning board where you can stand up and have fun. In terms of shape, most long boards, or slightly shorter variations called mini-mals, have a broadly similar outline. They pretty much look like this. There's a bit of variation in terms of the tail shape. They can range from square, round, swallow or pin. Again, for beginners, the tail shape is not something to worry about too much. If you get the length right, you get the thickness right, and just find a board that looks pleasing on the eye, and go surfing. It's pretty simple, really.